Hey, happy Friday to you. It is July 29th and time for this week's Friday Funnies, coming to you from Los Angeles, the home of the movie stars. That's why I chose to open this week's video with a picture of a giant statue of Marilyn Monroe. Actually, Marilyn isn't in Los Angeles, but she's right in downtown Chicago. We don't know why she's here, but it's a big hit with all the tourists who love to look up her dress. This week I am also introducing the new Friday Funnies theme music, composed and arranged by my good friend Roy Philippe. In fact, I'm sitting in Roy's backyard right now, because he's not home, to record the Friday Funnies. It's a lovely number. It's a peppy little number that invites you to get up and dance. And if ever we needed a reason to dance, it's now. Because the countdown is on, my friends. In only 4 days, our country is going to run out of money, and the stock market will crash again, and we'll all become bankrupt and destitute. Then, only 80 days later, the world is scheduled to end. Again. Now, normally, I would plan for the end of the world by, partying and spending money. But if we go into default, I won't have any money to party with. So it's truly a bad omen. But then again, things could always be worse. You could be that poor guy in South Africa who appeared to be dead, but came back to life 21 hours later, lying in a cooler in the morgue. Imagine waking up in a refrigerated coffin-like compartment in the dark. Better yet, imagine being one of the morgue workers when this guy woke up and started yelling. Yeah, it could always be worse. You could be Congressman David Wu from Oregon, who resigned from Congress this week over sexual allegations brought on by a friend of his teenage daughter. Personally, I never heard of the guy before, so my reaction was, woo! Woohoo! Or it could be worse, you could be Jeopardy host Alex Trebek, who snapped his Achilles tendon chasing after a woman who robbed him. When paramedics arrived on the scene, they found Trebek lying on the ground and said, "Can you stand up?" which evoked no response from Trebek. And then the paramedic then said, "I'm sorry, what is? Can you stand up?" So if you still think things couldn't get any worse, I invite you to take a look at the unfortunate losers in this week's Friday Funnies. A 63-year-old man in Glendale, California, tried to fix his own hernia. It was protruding from his stomach, so he did the reasonable thing and tried to fix it by operating on himself with a butter knife. I mean, are you kidding? A butter knife? Don't get me wrong, I'm all in favor of do-it-yourself projects, but it's all about the tools. I think the surgery would have been much better had he used a steak knife or possibly a ginzu. The man also told police that he thought about castrating himself, but he just couldn't pull it off. In Orange County, California, a court fined the makers of Extends, fined them $1.7 million to settle consumer complaints. You can tell Roy lives near the airport. Anyhow, Extends is a diet supplement that's supposed to increase the size of your man parts. And thousands of underendowed men bought this stuff, hoping that they would increase their manhood. Well, it turns out the pills are bogus. And Extends now has to pay for the fact that the only way these pills will make you look like Ron Jeremy is if you take the bottle they come in and stick it in your front pocket. Larry Stone is an inmate in Lake County, Florida jail. As an inmate, he has a trust account where the money that he acquires is kept. Now, one day, Larry used the prison telephone to make a call, and when he was done, he noticed that his trust account was credited with more money than the call cost. So, being a bright guy, he repeated this process 77 times and amassed a total of $1,250. Which he then used to make bail. Genius! But Larry returned to the jail only a few hours after he walked out because he said he needed to use the phone and he didn't have any change. Hey, that's all I have for you this week from beautiful Southern California. Please resend these to all of your friends, and we will be back in the Friday Funnies studio next week with more funnies for you. Now I'm going to go see if I can see stars, like Charlie Sheen or Lindsay Lohan or who knows who's in the bar this time of day.